Guys, welcome back to Serial at Midnight. It's time once again for our monthly look at everything coming out from Kino Lorber and all of their partner labels. So that's Cohen Media Group, Greenwich. Normally we have some Raro video. That's not the case for this one. But we have over 24 titles here, multiple box sets. It's like 17 movies on 4K. It's crazy. This is the last push before the holiday season. You always see in November this spike, the graph, the spike toward the holiday season, because that's of course a big consumer time when people are just, it's shopping days until Christmas, right? So December will be less than this, but we have a ton of ground to cover, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Normally, I would start with I have to say thank you for tuning into this coverage first, and I also have to say thank you to Kino Lorber for sending all of these titles over so that I can give you complete monthly looks at everything coming out from Kino Lorber. I love making these videos because I get to talk about movies, and that's what I love more than anything, is watching movies and talking about movies. I'm going to kick it off not with the 4Ks, but with something else. This is the French Noir Collection 2. Now, we've talked about French Noir Collection 1. It's been out for a while. A couple of years, I want to say. Max Allen Collins and I contributed 2 audio commentaries to this release. There are 4 movies in this box set. I'm going to give you a peek at the back. This video is getting exported in 4K, so you can probably freeze that and get a good look at that text on the back of the box. But we have 2 movies on each disc. Rhine Virgin, which has a commentary by Max Allen Collins and myself, and The Beast is Loose. And then disc 2 has Trapped by Fear and The Passion of Slow Fire, which also has a commentary by me and Max Allen Collins. The Rhine Virgin is a 1953 movie that stars Jean Gabin, who is a very prolific French actor this was like sort of near the beginning of his renaissance. He'd been through a fallow period and was about to become a huge name again. And I will just say that it's classic noir. All the tropes you expect from noir are there, and I had a great time talking about Gabon with Max Allen Collins, who knows noir tropes like the back of his hand because he's written, well over 100 novels and so many books in the crime and, what we would call like the noir genre. So that's like classic, right? But then The Passion of Slow Fire is 1961. So by any definition, that's like a neo-noir. The noir movement has sort of come and gone. And it's turned into something else. Psycho has come out before The Passion of Slow Fire. And I feel like the shadow of Psycho lays heavy over The Passion of Slow Fire. But it's an interesting conversation about this movie on the commentary track, because Max and I have kind of some opposing is not the right word. We have different perspectives on it. And it made for a great commentary track. So I'm very proud of both of these. You're also getting the other 2 movies, commentary by Simon Abrams and Mike Siegel for the other 2 movies. So French Noir Collection 2 is part of the November offerings. And I will also say, if you want more where that came from, stay tuned. Maybe there's more on the way. Previously, let's talk about 4Ks now. I'm going to jump into the 4Ks. Previously, on Serial at Midnight, we talked about the airport movies, which have arrived on 4K. Was it last month or the month before that? And they were individual. I think it was 2 months ago. They were individual releases. Each movie on 4K. They had commentaries, all the stuff. Same discs. Now it's in a box set. I'm of a mixed mind on this. I have 2 different opinions on this because it's cool. Obviously, we want a box set, right? If we get 4 movies, you put them in a box set. But okay, first of all, they've carried over all the extras. So we got the commentary for Airport with Julie Kurgo and C. Courtney Joyner. Commentary for Airport 75 by Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson. We got commentary Airport 77 by Julie Kurgo and Peter Hankoff. And then on Airport 79, The Concorde by Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson. They've added a booklet, which is great. But here is my issue. Love that we got a box set, but it's the packaging where the discs slide in and out, which I don't love. Most of the studios have moved away. In fact, Universal had released some movies like this. They've moved away from that. They've reissued those in standard packaging because this is prone to damaged discs. So I just have to be honest that I think it's obviously I would much rather have the box set than the individual releases, but then this makes it a complicated matter because you got to slide these 4Ks into these pockets, and that's just asking for trouble. We have an added booklet here. of course, I'm the guy that sleeves movies, right? I put movies, not things like this, but like individual catalog releases. Okay, so I've watched The Hole in the Wall with Eddie G. Robinson and Claudette Colbert. That's going to go in a sleeve, and I feel pretty good. I put the disc in a pocket in a paper sleeve, and then I put that in the Terrafold sleeves, which I've talked about many times. I see the numbers from my affiliate links. A lot of you guys are sleeving too. I'm so glad it works for people, but. So I know, like, yeah, I do things with my disc too, but this is I've had bad experiences, but your mileage may vary, and this may be just the thing for you, right? I want to show you this booklet because it's got this essay by Julie Kurgo, which is great. I'm so glad that they added a book to this. So this does have added value, but well, I've said it. I've said the thing. All right, so I'll put this back in the slipcover, and we will soldier on to a Kino Cult release on 4K. This is Ilsa, Harem Keeper of the Oil Sheiks from 1976. We've got an audio commentary with actress Diane Thorne, director Don Edmonds, actor Howard Marrer, moderated by humorist Martin Lewis. Another audio commentary by Kat Ellinger and Eugenie Mlodik. Interview with Don Edmonds, part 2 by Elijah Drenner. Still gallery, French dialogue track, theatrical trailer. Flip that around, and it does have, well, hold on, freeze it, read it. It does have alternate artwork here. You can decide, you can, it's like, can you spot the differences? There are 12 differences between these two photos. So it's reversible. It has this on the other side of it. Get the movie on 4K and on Blu-ray, right? Yes, that is it. So they've been getting those Ilsa movies out. This is exciting to me. This is the Ealing comedies, you guys. The Ealing comedies with Peter. I almost said Peter Cushing. That's not right. With Alec Guinness. Different Star. Because I got Star Wars on the brain, right? Different Star Wars actor, Alec Guinness. These fantastic comedies from these are all the 1950s, right? 49 for Kind Hearts and Coronets is 49. The Lavender Hill Mob is 1951. The Man in the White Suitcase is 1951. And The Lady Killers is 1955. Let's show you the back of the box really quick. This is amazing. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi, if you don't know. Before he was Obi-Wan Kenobi, I know there are a lot of people that like Star Wars and they seem to only know those actors for Star Wars. First of all, go watch Corvette Summer. It's not like I love Corvette Summer, and I think the actress that plays Janine in Ghostbusters, Janine, what is her name? Annie Potts. Love her in Corvette Summer. I am in love with Annie Potts from Corvette Summer. Love that movie. But go watch the other movies that these people are in because it's amazing. David Prowse is in A Clockwork Orange. The guy that played Darth Vader. Anyway, Alec Guinness was a comedy actor long before Star Wars. And these are the movies. So these are each on their own disc. Kind Hearts and Coronets, its own 4K. The Lady Killers, its own 4K. The Lavender Hill Mob and The Man in the White Suit are on one disc. And then check this out. Alec Guinness, The Masterpiece Collection, special features. So, audio commentary for the Lavender Hill Mob by film historian Jeremy Arnold. For The Man in the White Suitcase by film historian Dr. Dean Brandom. Interviews, featurettes, and theatrical trailers. Audio commentary on Kind Hearts and Coronets by Kat Ellinger. The Lady Killers by David Del Valle and Dan Marino. This is great. I'm so glad to see these. I just can't. At one point in time, not even that long ago, 6-7 years ago, you could not find these movies in the United States. You had to import them on a Region B DVD. They weren't on Blu-ray. And now we have them on 4K domestically. It's amazing. It's a wonderful time to be a movie fan. Paul, this was 2011. It's after Shaun of the Dead, and it's Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. It's been a while since I've seen this. So I'm like, wait, Jason Bateman is in this? Kristen Wiig, Bill Hader, Sigourney Weaver, and Seth Rogen as Paul. I remember Seth Rogen as the alien, right? So this is a brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master of the theatrical cut, because there are multiple cuts here. The enclosed Blu-ray, well, I'll show you in just a second. So 4K scan, 35mm original camera negative. We've got, we've got alternate artwork on the cover art. Here's the 4K. Here's the theatrical cut on Blu-ray, and then the, how do they call it? The unrated cuts on Blu-ray as well. And we've got Audio commentary with the director, Greg Mottola, producer Nira Park, actor Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Bill Hader, the unrated cut of Paul, Between the Lightning Strikes, the Making of Paul documentary, the Evolution of Paul featurette, Simon's Silly Face featurette, Who is Adam Shadow Child featurette, behind the scenes featurette and bloopers, TV spots, theatrical trailers. And a partridge in a pear tree. So that's cool. All right. Oh, these are out of order. I got to get these right. Well, if we hear, you know where we're going. On 4K, we start with Ninja 3, The Domination. Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and Enter the Ninja. We start here. Enter the Ninja. Then there's the Revenge of the Ninja, and then Ninja 3, The Domination. That's right. It's the Ninja, quote, trilogy. Kino Lorber has actually put together a box set. But I don't have the box set. I have the individual versions, and I think the box set is literally just the 3 movies in a slipcase, which is what we want. That's what we want. The movies in a slipcase, right? A box, like you slide them in and the side. So I love these movies. This one less. I mean, this was after the fact. This is 80. Not that far after the fact. Okay, 81, 83, 80. But this is the one that kind of sticks out as being the different thing. But in the 80s, these were so fundamental to like the ninja wave that was like, it's in G.I. Joe. You've got Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. You've got American Ninja. You've got Franco Nero, who's Django. I had not seen Django yet, but I'm like, you know, that's Franco Nero as a ninja. And Shokasugi, oh my goodness, Shokasugi owned the 80s. And then, so here's Revenge of the Ninja, which puts, Shokasugi has top billing in this one, right? Yeah. All 3 of these are canon movies. I will reference you to my multiple interviews with the author of the Canon Film Guides, Volume 1 and Volume 2, Austin Trunick. Austin is an amazing researcher, film historian, and he has told the story of canon like nobody else ever will or ever has. And anyway, so let's do this. Enter the Ninja. I don't think any of these had. If it did, I would have flipped it around. Yeah. Brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master from a 4K scan to 35mm original camera negative. We've got an audio commentary by Mike Leader and Arn Venema. That goes over here. Revenge of the Ninja has a brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master from 4K scan to 35mm original camera negative. These are coming from MGM. Audio commentary by director Simon Furstenberg, stunt coordinator Stephen Lambert. Audio commentary by action film historian Mike Leader and Arn Venema. I believe I interviewed Stephen Lambert several years ago. He was, if memories, if I'm correct, and I'll have a link to it here if this is the case, or maybe it's down below. He'd written a book, like a tell-all book, and I talked to him, and I just remember from that interview, I talk with my hands a lot because I'm on camera, but I also I'm passionate, so I talk with my hands. And I was like, tell me, did you? And he like made fun of me in the middle of the interview, and something switched. I don't even know if that's in the thing anymore. I might have cut that out. But I was like, oh, I'm promoting your book, and you're making fun of me in the interview. Brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master commentary. We talked about that. Mike Leader and Arn Venema. Intro by Sam Furstenberg, photo gallery and theatrical trailer. And then, of course, this is like the cult classic. This has got Lucinda Dickey in the. I don't think she knew anything about martial arts or ninja skills at the time that this movie was made, but Shokasugi's back in the top spot again. Same thing, brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master, 4K scan, 35mm original camera negative. Audio commentary by director Sam Furstenberg, stunt coordinator Stephen Lambert, moderated by Robert Galuzzo. Isolated score selections and audio interviews with composer Misha Siegel and production designer Elliot Ellentuck. Dancing with Death, interview with actor Lucinda Dickey. Seacord's Struggle, interview with actor Jordan Bennett. And then an interview with producer and stuntman Alan Emil, sorry. Theatrical trailer too. I don't think any of these had. Nope. All right, the next 4. These were 3 of a piece. Well, we're 15 minutes in already. The next 4, I don't think I didn't put these in order. I got to do these right. 48, 51. Okay. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Abbott and Costello meet The Invisible Man. Am I doing this right? Yes. Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and meet The Mummy. The Abbott and Costello monster movies on 4K. What time are we living? This is amazing. When these are now, obviously, I hope this harbinges, is that a word? I hope it's a harbinger of more Abbott and Costello on 4K. I would love a 4K box set. There's no alternate artwork for any of these either. Let me double make sure that I'll show you. Yeah. But they have used the classic art for a lot of this stuff, which I love. So this has an audio brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master with a 4K scan of the original camera negative for all four of these. These come from Universal. Audio commentary by Hats Off Entertainment Joe Ramone. Audio commentary by film historian Gregory W. Mank, who literally wrote multiple books about Universal horror. Audio commentary by film historian screenwriter Gary Girani. The theatrical trailer. This has an audio commentary by Hats Off Entertainment Joe Ramone, audio commentary by Paul Anthony Nelson and Lee Zachariah, and the theatrical trailer. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde has an audio commentary by Kim Newman and Stephen Jones. Another commentary by Tom Weaver and Richard Scrivani. I said that right. And the theatrical trailer. And then for The Mummy, which I did a full, several years back, 5 years, maybe more than that. I watched all of the Mummy movies, starting with the Boris Karloff Mummy, all the way through Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy, and wrote about them as I watched them. I was doing it sort of an anthology of the whole series and what I thought about them. And so you can find that right now at cerealatmidnight.bsky.social. This is an audio commentary by C. Courtney Joyner and Pfeff Sutton. Commentary by film historian Toby Rowan, my friend, and soon-to-be commentary partner, wink, more to announce when it's time, and a theatrical trailer. Another Kino Cult. We're moving out of the 4Ks now. That was... This is all of these. This is the 4Ks for the month. Isn't that crazy? All right, so Kino Cult, this is number 40. We have Frightmare. Every time I see this art, I think of the Phantom of the Paradise. There's something just about this that makes me think of the Phantom of the Paradise, but it's not. It's not really even the same thing. Audio commentary by Stephen R. Bissett, author of We're Going to Eat You Cannibal Movies. Audio commentary by director Pete Walker and cinematographer Peter Jessup, with Steve Chibnall, author of Making Mischief, the cult films of Pete Walker. For the Sake of Cannibalism, an interview with Pete Walker and Elijah Drenner. Sheila Keith, A Nice Old Lady profile, including interviews with former collaborators. Interview with editor Robert C. Dearborn and James McCabe. Interview with actor Paul Greenwood and James McCabe. Theatrical trailer. Show you the back. And nothing different here. But I know the Kino Cult, it's big. It sells a lot of units. The Barbarians. I've got this. This is a Blu-ray. I've got this on Blu-ray from Scorpion releasing. Scorpion is obviously not in business anymore, nor is, well, Code Red. I know Dark Force Entertainment got involved with some of those licenses, but both of the brothers that were running those two businesses are no longer with us. I'm glad that the catalog, that these movies are still around. So this is the Kino Lorber pressing of this. It has a commentary by Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson. This is being marketed as a special edition. It's got a theatrical trailer. I don't think it's a new transfer or anything like that. But if you love these 80s sword and sorcery movies, I mean, I do. Because of when I grew up, like, this is just in my blood. Even when they're bad, and they're usually bad. Like Deathstalker. There's a new Deathstalker movie out. I haven't seen it yet. I saw Patton Oswalt was in it, and I was like, does he ever say no to anything? I feel like it's like, here, it's the live action adaptation of The Sandman featuring Patton Oswalt. I'm like, I'll buy comic book collections, like so I bought Sandman Mystery Theater, DC Comics Compendium, forward by Patton Oswalt. I'm like, this dude's everywhere. Not knocking Patton Oswalt, just saying he seems to be in every single genre of every single kind of media. It's fascinating. Anyway, so this has the Barbarian twins in it, right? What are their actual? Peter Paul and David Paul. DC Cab, Think Big, Double Trouble. It's also it was directed by cult filmmaking legend Ruggiero Deodato. Cannibal Holocaust. Everybody talks about Cannibal Holocaust. Can we talk about this with the same enthusiasm we talk about Cannibal Holocaust? It's got Richard Lynch from Invasion USA in it. It's got Virginia Bryant from Demons 2. I don't know. I just love me a good medieval schlock hack and slash movie. Death Wish 2. Now you're probably thinking, like, why would this not be part of a box set? It is. Kino Lorber released a Death Wish box set in November with Death Wish 1 through 5 in it. But I don't have that. They didn't send that over to me. We've covered the individual releases over the last however many months. So Death Wish 2 on Blu-ray, audio commentary by Paul Talbot, super knowledgeable film historian, author the Bronson's Loose books, audio commentary by Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson. This does have, oh, hold on. No restoration notes on this one. It does have alternate artwork. I think the other art, so this, I don't love this. I don't love that at all. But you know what I do love is that. That is so much better to me, so I'm flipping that around. Look at, come on. Maybe I don't know, it's got guns on the cover. Does that have anything to do with why it's been, I don't know. But I'm also not familiar with the theatrical, maybe this was the other art was the theatrical poster in the USA market. I don't know. This is interesting to me because I've never seen it. This is the Gracie Allen murder case starring Gracie Allen. Silver screen star Warren William portrays the debonair detective Philo Vance. If you're a Patreon supporter or a member of this channel, you know I just picked up a ton of Philo Vance at a thrift store for almost nothing, and tons of Warner Archive releases for almost nothing, and tons of out-of-print 20th Century Fox discs for almost nothing. If you're a member of this channel, you get a lot more extra cereal at midnight or whenever you want it, and I'm a big fan of the Philo Vance, the William Powell movies, but also just Philo Vance is one of those famous on-screen character, well, off-screen too, I suppose, but this sort of these B movies, right? And that's, so this has Gracie Allen. Anyway, it's really great. We got an audio commentary by film historian Bernie Prokop, and this is a Paramount movie that is under the Universal banner. It's one of those. It's 1939. If you know your history, we talk about this all the time. Universal is controlling hundreds of Paramount films that Paramount sold them in the 50s for television, basically. The reason for it was because television was new and people were selling TV rights to movies and making money. Universal bought these Paramount movies for television, and now they control them. Now they essentially own them, but they didn't make them. They're Paramount films. All right, we are entering into the indie section of this, where we're going to go Kino Lorber, we're going to go Greenwich, documentaries, weird stuff. I'm saving something incredibly interesting for the end. It has to do with George Lucas. Okay, so stay tuned, right? I know some of you guys are like, I only care about the studio classics, and you might be thinking about bailing. Hold on. No Wave. It's like New Wave, No Wave. This is the underground films of Beth B. and Scott B. Emerging from the downtown scene of pre-gentrified 1970s New York, Scott B. and Beth B. crafted strikingly cinematic sci-fi and neo-noir thrillers that brought a Times Square grindhouse aesthetic to the music venues and art houses where they were being shown. These defiant B-movies, played mostly in Super 8, emblemized the alienation and spirit of rebellion, fueling a generation of young creators and featuring appearances by Lydia Lunch, John Ahern, Jack Smith, Jenny Holzer, Adele Berthet, Bill Rice, John Lurie, and Ann Magnuson. Newly restored from the film elements, No Wave is a major cinematic rediscovery. This is cool. So you got all these movies, and the special features are filmed introduction by Scott B., interview with Beth B., moderated by Indie Collect's president Sandra Schulberg. It's a 2-disc affair, and it does have reversible art. I'm not sure. I don't know. You know, sometimes I wonder, like, is there... I don't see any naked people on here, so I don't know if that's why. But, probably this is more mainstream marketable than this, which is gonna freak somebody out and be like, I can't buy that. Gotta wrap it up in a brown paper bag before you can buy it. I don't know. Grass and Chang. So I'm not gonna read all of this, but I was not familiar, so I'm gonna read you just a brief. I'm gonna skim over some of this. In 1924, filmmakers Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Schoedsack from King Kong linked up with journalist and part-time spy Marguerite Harrison and film Adventure, Danger, and Unparalleled drama and the treacherous migration of the Bakhtiari tribe of Persia. Grass, a nation's battle for life, features an unforgettable tableau of courage and determination as the Bakhtiari brave the raging Karun River. This new 4K restoration will astonish audiences with this beautiful photography, heart-stopping adventure. It's a timeless tale of survival from legendary filmmaking trio. Also on the disc, Cooper and Shodstack re-teamed again in 1927 for Chang, a drama of the wilderness, a magical story of a Thai family struggling to survive the forces of nature. Shot entirely in Siam, that tells the story of a farmer and his family living on the edge of a massive jungle. Man, this 4K restoration was overseen by Milestone Films with the cooperation of the Museum of Modern Art and the Library of Congress. Special features include color test, audio commentary by film historian Rudy Belmer. Ooh. Alternate score composed by Ghulam Hussein Janati Atiye. Rudy Belmer interview with Marion C. Cooper. This is great. So the first movie is 63 minutes. The second movie is 68 minutes. If that sounds interesting to you, you and I are simply walking. We are simply traveling through history. This is history. Do as you will. You get it? Monk in 2 pieces. Meredith Monk, composer, performer, and interdisciplinary artist, is one of the great artistic pioneers of our time. Yet her profound cultural influence is largely unrecognized, with Monk's music at its center and featuring interviews with Bjork and David Byrne. I used to do a Bjork impression. It might be insensitive now. Should I try it? She would talk like this. Everything that she would say was like she was running out of breath. I like to watch the movies of the art of Monk. Okay. Well, I did it. All right. It's extraordinary, says the San Francisco Bay Area Reporter. IndieWire says it's a perfect window into the singular genius of Meredith Monk. Fascinating and illuminating and heartfelt, says New York City Movie Guru. We've got extras, theatrical trailer, archival performance footage from 1973 to 2025, curated by Meredith Monk. This is awesome. This is a ton of stuff. I don't think there was no booklet or anything like that here, but I always love the portraits of artists, filmmakers, musicians, artists. I always get a little bit more excited about that than some of the other stuff, to be honest with you. Not my studio classics. Get your filthy, stinking hands off my studio classics. This is Riefenstahl, and I'm not going to read all of this, but it says filmmaker and Nazi propagandist Leni Riefenstahl is considered one of the most controversial women of the 20th century. Her films Triumph of the Will and Olympia are defined by their fascist aesthetics, perfectly staged body worship, and the celebration of all that is superior and victorious, simultaneously projecting contempt for the imperfect and the weak. But Riefenstahl, who first broke into German film industry as an actress, spent decades after the war denying her association with the Nazi ideology, claiming to be ignorant of the Holocaust. How did she become the Reich's prominent filmmaker if she was just a hired hand? This is a documentary to tell that story. The Guardian says it's a slice of dark history that speaks eloquently, implicitly to present-day tensions. Let's see. No special features. And it's no booklet or anything like that. It's from Cohen Media. All right, the rest of these, before George Lucas, I'm going to move... Well, there's something else, too. This is a sexy, romantic, original romantic gay comedy from Argentina. Jiro, it would be Hetero, and Tom seem the perfect couple, but their love affair abruptly ends on their first anniversary when Tom leaves his Hetero with only a breakup letter and an anniversary gift. 299 letters, so this 300 letters. And we have no special bonus features, Cinephobia releasing trailers. Okay, so just trailers. There's the back of the package on this one. Bullets and Blueberries, The Hidden Holocaust. The Holocaust began with the indiscriminate mass shootings at Eitzengruppen in the bloodlands of Eastern Europe and was perfected in the gas chambers of Auschwitz. Bullets and Blueberries explores the motives, methods, and madness of the perpetrators using never-before-seen images captured by the killers themselves, images that fully capture the brutality of evil. Man, that sounds absolutely heartbreaking. Love, not a judgment on whether it should have been made or not, or just saying this sounds really, really difficult. Love, Brooklyn. This is a writer navigates complicated relationship with his ex, an art gallery owner, and his current lover, a recently widowed mother. And with the support of his best friend, a modern romance set against the rapidly changing landscape of Brooklyn, New York, a Sundance premiere. We have no bonus features here, but this does come from Greenwich, who puts a lot of things on disc that otherwise would fly under the radar. Soul of a Nation, an unfiltered look at Israel's most perilous chapter in recent history, a period defined by internal division and political extremism, drawing on insights from Nobel laureates, former prime ministers, Muslim leaders, peace activists, and other prominent figures. The film dismantles preconceived notions about one of the world's most scrutinized countries. No special features on this one either, but you get the movie on disc forever, or as long as it'll play. Chantal, an offbeat, it's just an offbeat crime series, and crime is crossed out and it says feminist, an offbeat feminist series. Where is this from? This is in Dutch with English subtitles. In the offbeat Belgian mystery series Chantal, well, it was right there in the top line. Chantal Ventom has just been assigned to take charge of the local police station in small rural. How many? Okay, no judgment on this series. This is the premise of like 375 European TV shows. Is the big city cop gets assigned to the small town. It's Hot Fuzz too, isn't it? Gets assigned to take charge of the local police station in a small rural town of Loveringham. Starting a new life there as a single mother with a 10-year-old daughter. People in the Belgian Wild West are used to taking matters into their own hands, but the apparent tranquility of the distant corner of Flanders shouldn't deceive anyone. Under the surface of the town's smiling face lurks seedy secrets and plenty of unexpected mystery. Additionally, Chantal immediately gets off on the wrong foot with Inspector Clut, her chauvinistic second-in-command, and the self-described sheriff of Loveringham. But Chantal can hold her own against any man, and she has big plans. Okay, no special features, but it's the whole. Is it seasons 1 and 2? I feel like I don't do justice to some of those, but I'm like, there's so much. My passion is the studio classics, and the other stuff is just discovery for me, really. Back to 4K. See, I saved this one because I was like, this is a Cohen Media 4K. This belongs later in the video. Howard's End. Incredible movie. Haven't seen it in a while, so it's going to be interesting to catch back up with it. Anthony Hopkins, Emma Thompson, Anthony Hopkins, Vanessa Redgrave. A good movie that's really about death and those that are behind. One of Merchant Ivory's undisputed masterpieces. That's true. This adaptation of E.M. Forster's classic novel won 3 Academy Awards, including Emma Thompson for Best Actress. A saga of class relations and changing times in the Edwardian England on the brink of modernity. The film centers on liberal Margaret Schlegel, who, along with her sister Helena Bonham Carter, become involved in with 2 couples, wealthy conservative industrial. Okay. It's good. It's got this is a loaded release. It's a 3-disc set. So disc 1 is the 4K, and then discs 2. Well, it's the Blu-rays. Disc. Come on. All right. Disc 1 Blu-ray, disc 2 Blu-ray, because there's a ton of bonus features. Returning to Howard's audio commentary of film critics Wade Major and Lael Lowenstein. The Blu-ray disc 2 bonus features: Return to Howard's End, James Ivory in conversation with Lawrence Kardish, interview with James Ivory and Vanessa Redgrave, Q&A with James Ivory, 1992 behind the scenes featurette, Building Howard's End, the design of Howard's End, James Ivory remembers Ismail Merchant, original theatrical trailer, and the 2016 re-release trailer. All right, and we come to this. I'm George Lucas. So I did not know what this was. So I've had to do a little bit of research about this. I've watched none of it yet because I'm doing commentaries, you guys. I've got more commentaries headed your way, and those things take lots and lots. I know some people just fire up a microphone. I research for weeks and weeks for these commentaries because I really want to be able to bring the most film history as possible to what's on the recording. But this sounds so interesting to me. So this guy, the real story, this is the slipcover. The real story is on the back of this. For 10 years, comedian Connor Ratliff, creator of the podcast series Dead Eyes, has performed as filmmaker George Lucas in his cult comedy act, The George Lucas Talk Show, co-hosted by actor Griffin Newman from The Tick, and featuring A-list guests booked by producer Patrick Cotnoir, including Saturday Night Live's Heidi Gardner and Severance's Zach Cherry. The show allows Connor to both exalt and poke fun at the vast world of Lucas, including Star Wars. However, Connor began to question if the show should continue due to its ongoing stress with little financial and career gain. I'm George Lucas, a Connor Ratliff story, explores the mysteries of Connor's inner self, and this portrait of an artist and his own feelings on his history, value, and legacy are revealed. This 2-disc special edition of the documentary is the ultimate gift for George Lucas talk show fans. It replaces Ratliff with a disturbingly smooth CGI model, including a record-breaking 30 audio commentaries from the cast, the crew, and former guests like Rich Sommer from Mad Men, legendary comic book writer Brian Michael Bendis, and many more. Plus, there are oodles of deleted and extended scenes, Q&As, and chaotic clips from the live show. McClunky. I even like the McClunky joke because if you know the last round, it was the 4K release of Star Wars. It was always controversial when Han shot Greedo, or when Greedo shot first. Like, no, Han shot first, right? But now, like on the 4Ks, the latest version of these movies, Greedo's like, McClunky. Like, they just added dialogue. They just added more dialogue to a scene that's already controversial. I have no idea why. But I get the McClunky reference, and I appreciate it. Special features booklet with messages from the director, plus digital access to hours of additional bonus features we couldn't fit on the discs. Disc 1, 30 audio commentaries, deleted scenes, theatrical trailer. Disc 2, extended interviews, introduction, Q&A, live show footage. This is a stunner. Okay, we got a booklet. Here's the 2 discs. There is I've already spun it around. This artwork is on the reverse of this art wrap. It's got both pieces of art. Okay. Hello, my dear Georgie Porgy. On behalf of the team, I'm incredibly excited to welcome you to the special edition of Blu-ray of I'm George Lucas, the Connor Ratliff story. The project began as a small, fun idea, an exploration of quirky DIY talk shows, and its passionate creator. Okay, here's the list. I'm gonna hold this up. You guys freeze this, okay? Because I'm not gonna read all of this. This is the thing I'm the most interested in from the latter batch of this. It's just like, what is this? This is November. Kino Lorber Spotlight. This has been fun. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. What are you interested in? Let's weigh in on the airport packaging. This is a good place to weigh in on airport packaging. What have you seen? Ninjas, right? Ninjas are cool. I like ninjas. We covered so much ground in this. And like, where do we get? Great. You want to talk about Gracie Allen? We can talk about Gracie Allen. You want to talk about Philo Vance? I'm here for it. Thanks to Kino Lorber. Thanks to you guys. I guess we'll see you back here in December. Until next time, I will catch you later.